The theme for the July-August 2026 Diecast Exchange Challenge is Post-Apocalyptic Grocery Getter. The basic requirement for this build is that the vehicle has to be a station wagon. I chose the Hot Wheels Vairstrike as the basis for my build, even though it wasn't a station wagon. I plan to fix that issue during the build. The rivets on the end of the post were drilled out, the casting was disassembled, and the posts were drilled and tapped for 256 screws. I wasn't a fan of the exposed chassis with the chopped off lower body sides on the casting. To fix this, I removed the aero features from the rocker panels and recreated the lower body sides using UV-cured resin putty. I chose to attach the new lower body panels to the interior so that they could be painted separately from the rest of the body. I tackled the lack of a station wagon roof next. A piece of sheet styrene was cut to size, filed and sanded to shape, and then glued to the rear of the existing casting roof. The new roof section was blended into the existing roof with the application of catalyzed glazing putty followed by filing and sanding. This process was repeated until I was satisfied with the shape of the new roof. To fill up the back of the wagon, I grabbed a 3D printed V8 left over from a previous build and modified it to fit. I liked where this was headed, so I modified the CAD model of the engine to lengthen the intake riser and add a removable Mad Max-styled scoop. A small rectangular hole was cut through the roof to provide clearance for the intake riser. My plan was to go with a World War II Warbird paint scheme, so I worked up some custom laser-printed decals to complete the paint scheme. I swapped the original wheels with 3D printed wheels I designed for a previous build. These wheels used rubber tires robbed from a set of real rider wheels. Here I am test fitting the new wheels and modified interior to the modified base. For armament, I used some 3D printed guns. The plan was to cut the barrels from these guns and have them protrude through the nose of the car, hopefully looking like the guns on the wing of a World War II fighter plane. To make the hood vents stand out, I glued some red mesh squares to the bottom of the hood. The mesh was originally brass colored before I painted it red. With all of the parts test fit, painted, and weathered, it was time for final assembly. Here's the original Hot Wheels Vairstrike casting I started with. And here's my completed WarVair Combat Grocery Getter. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked the build.